Hi, I'm Luke from Luke Circle and managing partner of Ridgeline Ventures, and I'm here to talk to you about how to compose effective emails when you're asking for a referral into a company. I think we all can agree that referrals are the best way to make inroads when you're applying for a job, but unfortunately, I see a lot of very poorly written emails that make it harder for me to make referrals and make it harder for busy people to make those referrals for you. And so there are four elements that are really important to include. But I want to start with, before that, I want to start with the reason why this is so important to nail is because when you're asking for a referral from a busy person, you want to make it as easy as possible for them to help you. So go into this with a mindset of, I want to make this as easy as possible. And after you compose the draft, go back through and say, if I were a really busy person, would this be easy to read, or can I cut down more, and can I be more specific with my ask? So the four things you want to include. Number one, obviously, you want to include what you've done in the past. So that includes very briefly in two, maybe three sentences, or two, maybe three bullets, a quick summary of the companies you've worked for and the jobs you've held. And make it very succinct. I often see very long summaries of people writing that historical background on their careers, and it makes it very hard to digest when there's a lot of information. Second, you want to include, ideally, not just the roles that you've held, but what you've gained from those roles and the key takeaways and the experiences then that you're going to bring in order to create value for the next company that you work for. So that'll help the referrer think about, okay, well, I see the roles they've held, but really what they've gained from that is going to make them better in this way, and that'll help me think about who I can refer them to. Number three is talk about what jobs and specifically what roles are ideal for you going forward. And when you're in a position in your career in which you're unsure of that, or you feel like you could do a variety of different things, pick one direction and go with it. The broader you are with your list of jobs that you're interested in, the harder it's going to be for the referrer or the recipient to bucket you into kind of the specific jobs. And you want to do the brainstorming, not force them to do the brainstorming, because if you're forcing them to kind of guide your career, then it's going to be a lot harder because they just don't have the bandwidth to be able to do that. And number four is you want to be very specific with the types of companies that you're looking to make inroads into. If there's one company that you're asking, one specific company you're asking for a referral into, or one or two, perfect. It makes it a lot easier on the recipient. If you're unsure of companies, then and you say something along the lines of, well, I'd like to work in the outdoor industry or the food industry, it puts that brainstorming again back on the recipient, and it makes it a lot harder. So even if you are unsure of specific companies, give examples, and that'll get the wheels turning for the recipient of what other similar companies they should be thinking about to refer you into. So those are the four key things: what you've done, what you've gained that you're going to bring in the next company, what roles you're interested in specifically, and specifically what companies you think you may be interested in. So nail those four things. But along with that, going back to making it as easy as possible for the recipient, avoid big block text. I often receive emails with paragraphs that are 10 sentences long, and when I see that, I just want to avoid it altogether and not read it. And that's what I do. So keep it simple. If you have a bunch you're trying to cram in there, read through and cut out anything that's not important or relevant. Make some of it into bullets, or make smaller paragraphs and smaller text and break them up. Make it as easy as possible and be as specific as possible with your ask. That's it. I hope it helps, and good luck hunting for a new opportunity. Take care.